Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Yeah, apologies for there being no videos on the channel recently. If you know why, you know. And it's one depressing topic to another, really. This isn't going to be a video in regards to today's game. I wasn't at the match today because, unbelievably, forgot my season ticket at home. Literally was getting to the outside the ground, was about to get my programme, and only dawned on me then that I'd forgotten my season ticket, and rather than go to the ticket office and get a paper copy, I decided to sack it off and went home. Just thought to myself, I don't really want to watch this shower of shit that we've seen this past couple of weeks, and as a matter of fact, this entire season. And that's how low it's got, you know. That's how low it's got this season. And to be honest with you, I consider myself to be the luckiest Charlton fan out there today after that. But like I said, this video isn't a review of that game. It is, I guess, spurred on by that game. And as you can tell by the title, what's wrong with this club? What is wrong with this club? I'll tell you what's wrong. It is a fucking shambles. It is a fucking embarrassment. An absolute shit show on and off the pitch. And there is only one direction I see this club going, and that is down, backwards. It's just so deflating and depressing and draining, you know, watching us this season. It has been all year. And like I've mentioned so many times, there's been a number of reasons as to why this has been a shambles of a season, but only now have I just woken up and realised what is actually the true problem. I mean, like I said, there is a lot of factors, but there's probably one that's more so the issue, and you probably know what that is. But I'm just tired. I'm just sick and tired. And like I said, it's got to that point now where I'm just not bothered about not turning up to a game. You know, I said after the Bolton game, I just want the season to end at this point. And I still stand by it today. You know, we are 16th in League One. You had Thomas Sandgaard at the start of the season going, oh, we're going to blow it out of the division. We're going to blow this league apart. And now I just feel... I don't hate the guy. I don't dislike him. You know, he invests in this team. He clearly wants it to work. He's invested more money than the previous owners, that's for sure. Roland and ESI. Roland had the money, but he didn't invest it. ESI had 2 bob. I don't hate him, but I'm just left disappointed by this season of how much of a shambles it's been, and I feel let down as a fan based off what we were promised at the start of the season. And in its simplest terms, Thomas Sandgaard has overpromised but underdelivered. I don't know what the plan is for the future. You know, I don't know what's happening in terms of this team, who's staying, who's going. I don't know if Jackson's going to be in charge past next season. I don't know what the plan is. You know, I don't know what the ambition is for this club. But all I can tell you right now at this point in time, after losing 4-0 at home to Oxford, losing 4-0 to anybody at home is an absolute embarrassment. But after that, I am just left just thinking there is only one way this club is going, and that is just in a downward trajectory. And quite simply, and the truth does really hurt with this, but since Sandgaard took over the club in 2020, we've gone backwards. And that is the harsh reality, you know. It's so sad to say, but it is true. You know, we were playing better football under Roland. We had better teams under Roland. You know, 2018-19, prime example. You know, 2019-20, before he sold the club to ESI. We were sat in the top half of the championship, defying the odds. He wasn't doing anything, like I said. He didn't invest in the team. He did nothing. But him not doing anything actually meant that it was okay. Things were going all right. And then we just come to this season where it's just been an absolute disaster from start to finish. Nigel Adkins in charge. You got that appointment completely wrong, didn't you? But Adkins said at the start of the season in the summer, he wanted his team ready before pre-season. First pre-season friendly against Celtic, we've made 3 signings. Stockley, McGillivray, Dobson. The bulk of our team going into that pre-season was our under-23s. I know Adkins had a good track record when it comes to young players, but that is just too much. Like I said, you got the Adkins appointment too wrong. Recruitment process too slow. trying to be patient, trying to be picky, signing the right players when the majority of them have been an absolute shambles. And in the end, we go from wanting a team ready before pre-season to signing Pape Soiree in September to be the competition to Ben Purrington at left back when he hadn't played a single game of football last season in the French First Division or Second Division with Troyes. I don't know, don't care. Bottom line is, didn't play a single game of football last season, and he's brought in to be competitive in this team. And even in January, bringing in Juan Castillo and Niall John on loan to the end of the season. Pointless loan signings that are going to make no difference to this team because they're not going to play. But the club right now, everything to do with this club is rotten to the core. And I'm going to reference this one tweet that I put out today, which some people didn't understand, which I'm going to try and clear up. If you didn't see it, basically, it was after the 4-0. As I said, I wasn't at the game. I'm not going to comment on the game. Can't be asked to. Basically, I said, Sangard, he's done a lot wrong this season. He has. He's got a lot wrong this season. He's made a lot of mistakes. And hopefully this will be a learning curve for him. But we'll get onto that in a bit later. People need to put their burning hatred towards Sangard to one side. Because it seems that every single result over the course of this season, every time we've dropped points or lost games, the first person that is blamed is Sangard. And we just completely bypass, the players and the manager and his tactics. Because in my opinion, they deserve as much pelters and as much stick and as much hate as what Sangard gets on a daily basis on Twitter. Some people would like to say it's not hate, it's just saying it how it is. Personally, from what I see on social media, particularly on Twitter every day, it seems like hatred to me. With the people that have quite the agenda against Sangard. But I just think it's funny how Sangard just gets so much pelters on a daily basis. People saying it's his fault entirely for the results on the pitch. On the pitch, it is the players and the manager's responsibility. Nigel Adkins' disaster. Yes, Thomas Sangard appointed him, but Adkins was a disaster. Complete wrong appointment, got it wrong. Johnny Jackson, I still think he's the man for the job. I stand by that. A lot of people are a bit about him, but I would like to think that he is the man for the job, and I think he deserves to build something for next season. The players and the manager, I'm not saying they don't get hate and they don't get, criticism, but they don't get it anywhere near as much as what Sangard gets, and they deserve it. Those players, some of them, do not give a shit. They do not give a fuck. And it's these players that put on this shirt that have to deliver when they step on that pitch. And it's a joke. And even for Johnny Jackson's tactics, like I said, I would like to think that he is the man for the job, but we've got to drop that 5 at the back system. I never really rated it when we were playing well, when we had that little bit of a purple patch when he was caretaker. The second he got the job permanently, the players just switched like that and they didn't care. But that 5 at the back system just does not work. We don't have the team or the players that can fit that system, especially in the wing-back role. We don't have a single fullback or winger in this team right now that can play that position well. And even in the 3 at the back system with the 3 centre-backs, we play one natural centre-half in Ryan Innes today, who went off with an injury, which is typical. Sean Clare, who over the course of this season has done really well, but got himself sent off, so now we've got to put in someone else. And then Ben Purrington, who's a left-back. And we've got 3 natural centre-halves, Fanwo, Pearson, Lavelle, on the bench and they're not even playing. What are we doing? Our midfield is non-existent and our attack is absolutely decimated with injury. Stockley, Washington and Anike out. We're playing Jonathan Lecco, who could quite possibly be the most overrated Charlton player I've ever seen. Burstow, who, credit to the lad, he's a young lad, trying to break into the team. He has had a breakthrough season. I won't be too harsh on him. And then we've got, Daniel Carnu and Tyrese Campbell coming into the team. We can't knock them because they're young lads, obviously. But the attack is decimated. There is no midfield in that team whatsoever. And the defensive line is just a shambles. And even the goalkeeper, McGillivray of late has been so poor. Hesitance to come off his line, positioning being a shambles. It's just... on the pitch, the players need to take responsibility because they just do not give a shit. And they deserve as much pelters than what Sangard gets. Sangard can't do anything about who was on the pitch and who wasn't. He can't do anything about what those players do in the 90 minutes. And what Jackson decides to set the team up with his tactics. He doesn't decide that. But off the pitch, yeah, he's in the shit with what he's done this season. Because Sangard has done a lot wrong this season. The biggest thing of all of them being the recruitment. I didn't actually know this until this week when Richard Cooley reported it in the South London press. I was under the illusion that, Sangard just provides the money to, Jackson and such and so on and so forth and Gallen and that. Just gives it to the recruitment team and goes, yeah, there you go. Signs the checks and bang, up to you. Cool. Only discovered by Richard Cooley this week, Sangard has the final say when it comes to transfers. Oh, that explains why we had a dreadful transfer window, didn't it? In the summer and in January. Why does he have the final say? Why is he... got major roles in this club when it comes to, having the final say in transfers, and even the CEO. He is the CEO of this club, and he's based in Colorado, and he's got another business over there, Zynex Medical, to care for as well. You know, we need, the first major thing that needs to happen with this club is we need somebody that's going to be at the club running it full time, that knows what's going on with English football. They know what they're doing. Because let's face it, other than running this club since 2020, Sandgaard is very inexperienced when it comes to football. The fact that he's got the final say in transfers just shows exactly why this season's been a disaster. And even his son, Martin Sandgaard, he's like, what is his role? I don't know, like director of analysis or something like that. Even he's got a say in terms of the scouting and the recruitment process. He's just as inexperienced as him. You know, what is going on? This isn't some like family get-together where you can just run the club completely and just, you know, have every single decision making and everything like that. He's completely underestimated how difficult it is to get out of this league. We need people that are going to be running this club full time, that have the experience, that know what they're doing with English football, so we can get out of this league, because he has completely and utterly underestimated this. You know, like I said, at the start of the season saying we're going to blow it out of the division, he's completely underestimated it. And look at where we are now, 16th, and we have to really say a lot of it is his fault, because he's got the final say in recruitment. I didn't know this. You know, I didn't know that until this week. As a matter of fact, I don't think anyone did. It's the Fill the Valley campaign. A great initiative when you do it once or twice. When you first did it in December, yeah, cool, great idea. Get people to get their friends and families down the valley for free tickets. Some people were a bit giving away free tickets to Fill the Valley. But yeah, you know, if you do it once or twice, it's not a bad initiative. But when you do it every single home game since you announced it, and then you're reporting the attendance figures from the tickets sold, or in our case, given away. You base the attendance off of those tickets being given away, rather than the people that actually turn up to the game. You know, we're reporting attendance figures of like 24 or 25,000, nearly a sellout, when we're getting, what, I don't know, 14, 15, 16,000 a game, if that. You know, there are people that would go to games and pay for those tickets. At this point, we're just throwing away money. We have lost so much money and income through this initiative. At least a lot of money from it. Probably at least 6 figures. And then it turns out today, you've got Rick Everett saying today that apparently Sandgaard is bragging these attendance figures, the fake attendance figures, you know, from the tickets given away, so he can sell part of the club to investors. If that doesn't tell you he's got a massive ego, I don't know what does. Because the guy has a huge ego. And he is completely, like I've said it so many times, he is completely underestimated how difficult of a job this is. And quite frankly, he needs to stop fucking around. He needs to stop fannying around and get real. Get this shit real. Because right now, this club is heading in a downward trajectory, and it's probably not going to get any better. Next season, I can already predict the season ticket sales will probably be, I can't even begin to imagine. Making reference to the tweet I said earlier, you know, like I said, some people didn't really understand what I was saying, because they were saying like, oh, you know, you do realise Sandgaard, you know, he obviously, it's him that has to fix that. You know, it's him in the senior leadership team that are directly responsible, because they were directly involved in bringing in those players, and, you know, they brought them in, essentially. And people said they didn't understand the logic. What I meant was, yes, Sandgaard is very much to blame for this season now, especially more than ever after recent developments have come out, you know, with the fact that he's head of recruitment, which we didn't even know until this week. And then this about Rick Everett, where he's saying that he's bragging to investors about the attendance figures, which are false, based off tickets that are given away. You know, what I was trying to get across is that Sandgaard isn't, you know, he's not playing on that pitch. He's not responsible for what happens on the pitch. What happens on the pitch is down to the players that wear this shirt and the manager and the way he sets that team up. And they deserve as much stick than what he gets on a daily basis. Because Sandgaard gets it rough from some of our fan base. He does. But it just seems that the players and the manager barely get any of that. Because like I said, these players do not give a shit. It is clear. They do not give a fuck. And the manager's tactics, like I said, I hope Jackson is the man for the job. And I hope that he is here next season and he's given the tools and the reins to build what he wants. His tactics at the moment are poor, and his team selections are poor. That's what I was trying to get across. But that's not me saying that Sandgaard is immune to criticism, because we need to drop that, oh, he saved us, you know, we're lucky to have a club to support. We need to drop that bollocks, because it makes it sound like he's a god, that he's immune from criticism, because he is not. All right? The truth is, and this truth hurts, but the truth is, we have an inexperienced owner when it comes to football. and he is overseeing very important roles when it comes to this club. He's the CEO, and he has the final say when it comes to transfers. And I'm really not entirely surprised. You know, like I said, he's based in Colorado. He's got another business to deal with in Zynex Medical. We need somebody that is going to be at this club full time, that is going to run it properly and has English football experience. And he cannot have the final say when it comes to recruitment, because it just shows, like, I'm not entirely surprised now why our transfer window was a shambles. Carl Robinson, you know, Oxford manager, former Charlton manager, he put it brilliantly today. You know, he said that, I don't think it's Johnny Jackson that should be looking at himself. You know, things need to change if Charlton are to get back to where they belong and head in the right direction. He got stick for it, but he's not wrong, is he? He's completely right. And I don't know when this is going to get better, or if it's going to get better. But what we do know is that Sandgaard, he's got to take responsibility for this season, because he is as much to blame as anyone else. You know, like I said, the players, they don't care. Honestly, a lot of them can just fuck off past this season. And like I said, I hope Johnny Jackson is the man for the job, man. I hope he does stay and he's given that chance. But, you know, he needs to work on his tactics, and he needs to fix the formation and experiment with something else, you know, because this just isn't working at the moment. But Robinson is right. Something does need to change, and he's pointing it at Thomas Sandgaard. You know, like I said, we need someone or people around him that is going to run this club full time and is going to help us. If he does it through investors, cool. Bring him in. Don't care. Just get the right people in. I'm looking at Peter Varney and Andrew Barkley. Bring them in. We are 16th, which is an embarrassment for this club. It is nothing short of an embarrassment. And right now, this club is just an absolute mess. It is a circus. And this does not get any better until Sandgaard decides to change things around. Because this can't continue. He said we were going to be in the Premier League in 5 years. He wanted us to play European football. Nearly 3 years into his ownership, we're still in League One. And we will not get out of this league until you make those changes. You get the people around you and are experienced. Not your son, who has no experience, or even you, who has the final say when it comes to transfers. Stop with the Field of Valley campaign. It was a good idea 2 games in, but stop giving away the free tickets now. Because it's getting beyond the joke, you know. I paid for a season ticket. I may as well just leech off someone who has a season ticket and go to games for free at this point. Defeats the point of getting a season ticket. You know, like I said, we're just throwing away income. We've lost so much money through doing this initiative, and people are taking the tickets and not coming. 10 years ago, we won the League One title. You know, and they said back then, after we had a shocking season in League One, the club held their nerve. We invested early in the transfer window, and we went on to have a wonderful, magnificent season where we won the league. Sandgaard needs to do that now, and he needs to get that in motion for next season. We need to stop faffing around in the January window. We need to get straight in, be quick with it, and bring in good quality players that Jackson wants. I want to see Jackson build his team, not Sandgaard. I want to see Jackson build a team. You know, even his contract, you know, the short-term contract that he has, contract extensions triggered based off league finishes. You know, it's just short-term. That's not what it should be. We need stability with this club. We need to stop rebuilding every single season because we're not good at it. And we've got to do it again this year. You know, they keep saying we've got a core group of players. This can't be our core because they're not good enough and they don't care. They don't give a fuck. He can't have those roles because he clearly doesn't know what he's doing. You know, he needs to give Jacko that chance to build the team that he wants, the players that he wants. Like Robinson pointed out today. Everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong, and we need to start asking the questions because this can't continue any longer. Things need to change. Sandgaard, he needs to take this as a season of lessons. He needs to take this as a massive learning curve because he has completely underestimated this and he's overpromised and not delivered whatsoever. He needs to change this and fix this and turn things around to get to where he wants this club. So he says where he wants to get this club to. But it's just... I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just really sad to see us in the position that we're in. And it's just not getting any better, you know. And it needs to change sooner rather than later. But yeah, I've waffled on for far too long. I'm sorry with the way this video has gone, you know, just waffling and just ranting because... this club is just a mess. It is a circus at the moment, and it needs to change. Everything is wrong with this team. Everything is wrong with this club, and it needs to change, and it needs to be fixed sooner rather than later, or it will be too late. Sorry for the way this video has panned out, and again, sorry for the lack of videos lately, but again, as I said, if you know what happened, you know. I'm not going to talk about it, but yeah. Thank you for watching this video, guys. It is appreciated. It just needs to change. It just needs to change at this club sooner rather than later, or we are just going to continue to unimpress, and it's just going to... I can't even begin to imagine what next season is going to be like. You know, the season ticket sales are going to be low, and it's just... Sandgard risks losing this fan base, and we can only hope and pray, and I really do hope that next season is better than this one. Well, I don't even know when my next game's going to be. It probably will be Tuesday, knowing me, because I'm fucking stupid enough to go to games because I love this club too much. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. It needs to change. It's as simple as that. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Stay safe. See you later.